Hello again everybody, and welcome to another Sunday night short. As you can hear, just for a change, it's raining again. I haven't really spent much time out here doing anything particularly productive or video worthy. Mostly housekeeping stuff, trying to get the workshop rearranged and into a much better semblance of order. There is a remarkable amount of floor space compared to what there used to be now, so we are making progress. I've taken a couple of motorcycles for MOTs. I'm going to just briefly touch on a couple of updates on future projects. Well, this is the Triumph Tiger Cub cylinder head that I think I've probably mentioned it before, and belongs to a friend of mine. It's effectively a scrap head. He's racing a Tiger Cub, and they normally have a conventional 14mm spark plug in there, and he wants me to fit a second spark plug into there. And when I was getting one of the bikes MOT'd, I scrounged a 10mm plug, and I'll show you the comparison with the stock 14. So, you know, quite a bit smaller, more compact. So I've got to try and find room to get it in there, so these fins will get removed to a certain extent. Well, I'll probably start off by centering up on the barrel register, finding how far this edge is from the centre line, put the edge of the new hole a similar distance away, we'll break through, and then we'll see where the hole ends up, and just whether there's any metal to form a seat for the plug on, and see whether I get away without welding or making up an insert or something. So hopefully that will be getting done before too long. On the previous video I showed you these damper rods from the Marini Marzocchi forks. I'm just in the process of drawing these all up, and I've decided I'm going to make new ones, and I have managed to get myself some 15mm fairly precise on the OD, cold drawn seamless tubing with a 9mm bore, which will get taken out to 10 and so on, and I'll be making up complete new damper rod assemblies. Here's another one of the current stable of bikes. This is the one that's featured in most of my videos working on Marini, so it's the one I've been doing the clutch rebuild and the starter motor rebuild and such like. It's an early 500. If we swing round the other side where it's easier to see, you can see those down tubes are quite close to the front cylinder head, and they very quickly put a kink in the frame there to give a little bit more clearance, make it easier to work on. And it's got the stainless front mudguard they rapidly moved to painted. The 500 was only a couple of horsepower more powerful than the 350, and it's a little longer wheelbase, so the steering's not quite as sharp, and it's only a 5-speed gearbox rather than the 6 that Marini owners were used to. So they weren't really as popular as the 350s. You know, everybody thought they were getting the same but more. But they're possibly more popular now because of the extra torque. So with older, heavier riders and perhaps more people wanting to do fairly leisurely runs with a pillion on the back. The extra torque comes in handy. But the bike would originally have been red. This black and gold colour scheme didn't feature until later bikes, but at some stage someone's given it a bit of a makeover, though it's a good paint job from this distance. It doesn't bear close inspection, but it's tidy enough. I had the wheels redone, they were badly corroded and generally tidied up, and took it down to have its safety inspection on Monday. And for the benefit of my American subscribers who probably won't be familiar with UK vehicle regulations, any vehicle made after 1960 is required to have a valid MOT certificate, the name deriving from the old Ministry of Transport. So they'll be checking for play and notchiness in the headstock bearings, wheel bearings for notchiness and play, that the forks and the rear dampers are damping correctly and aren't leaking, that the exhaust doesn't leak. The brakes will be tested for efficiency and that they're not pulsing. That's usually done on a set of rollers, though I do know of one place that still uses a winch and a spring balance. So they weigh the vehicle as the front and rear wheels as well to get the efficiency numbers. Now absolutely filthy because it was chucking it down with rain when I rode down there, and you know, my back lane is not exactly ideal riding conditions for a clean bike, but the riding position on this is peculiar, very Italian. You can see if you look at the foot pegs and the brake pedal there, they're quite a long way forward, which would be fine if it didn't have clip-on bars. So you kind of feel yourself folded slightly double. Not as bad as my 350 was when I got it, but just about everybody will either fit a set of raised bars or alternatively fit a set of rear sets depending on the kind of riding they want to do. But there aren't a whole lot of these 500 sport models around, especially ones that have still actually got their sport badge intact. But yeah, another one of the collection.